The summer is over, and soon the winter will be here with all the snow. Jätteberget, Rönningshyttan, Lövfalla, Örgivsmossen, Gällberget. This summer was very hot and dry, and it was a fire ban in all parts of Sweden. You were not allowed to make a fire, and you were not allowed to use camping stoves, or yes, you were not allowed to use an open flame. And it was a lot of forest fires in Sweden this summer. But now there are no fire ban, and you are allowed to make cooking food or make your coffee again. I hope you can hear me. I think you can hear me. This time I had a little longer cable to my microphone, so I have my microphone mounted here. So I really think you can hear me this time. As usual, I will make me a cup of coffee. As I mentioned before, I drink a lot of coffee, and I like to make the coffee when I'm out in the forest. Yes, you are familiar. I think you know that stove I'm using. It's the old Swedish soldier stove, made by a company named Svea. You often heard people call it Swedish Army Trangia. It's not Trangia that made this stove. This burner actually is a Trangia burner, but most of the burner I have came across to this stove is made by Svea. But I hope you can see that. Here you can read Trangia and the 3 crowns that told it's a Swedish Army model. So the burner is actually Trangia, but the rest of the stove is made by Svea. This is the aluminum version of the stove, or should I say of the cooking pan. You can also find this one is in stainless steel, but they are not common in stainless steel anymore. I had some of them in stainless version, and I have three of them in stainless steel and 2 stoves in aluminum. In the winter they can be a little tricky to lit up to make them burn, but in the summer and this weather, this temperature, it's not any problem. I have used this stove down to about minus 22 degrees Celsius, but when it's that cold you have to preheat the burner. You have to carry the burner in your pocket close to your body, and you have to carry the fuel, so the fuel and the burner is a little warmer than minus 19 degrees, 22 degrees Celsius. And coffee. Just coffee. You can use some type of preheater for the stove, for the burner. I made one of lid to a jar, and put a little cotton pad in the lid. If you have the lid like this, and put a little cotton pad in it, and then use fuel on the pad, and then you can I use a couple of bolts to get the burner above the lid, and then you light the cotton pad with fuel on and put the stove above that little preheater, and the flame from the preheater makes the burner a little hotter, and it burns better in cold temperature. When hopefully when the fuel in the preheater has burned out, the temperature of the stove is high enough to make it burn by itself. If you let the burner burn for a while, like this, the flame will burn a little cleaner, and you don't get that much soot on the on this one, as if you just you start to warm this up as soon as you have lit up the fire. The Trangia burner I have to this stove burns a little hotter than the Svea burner, and I guess it will be a little sootier on the kettle. Do you call this kettle? This is not the fastest stove, of course. It takes a few minutes to get the water to boil. Yes, the water is boiling, and I will get my coffee. When you will put out the flame, you have to take this rubber gasket out of the lid, and then you can put out the flame. You can store the fuel in the burner because you have that rubber gasket, but it's not recommended to do that. Maybe it's better to let last of the fuel burn out. I have seen people turn this windshield upside down and then put the burner at this pot stand. It's burning, but when they do like this and put it upside down and put the burner on the pot stand, it looks a little crazy, but actually I think that's smart, because then you can use a frying pan, not this one, but you can use another frying pan that not fit the stove, and you can use it above like this. So that's make it possible to use other pots than this one. But the right way to use this one is just put it over the burner and use those two as pot stands. I also have one of my windshield I have converted so I can use a multi-fuel burner from it's the burner called Optimus Polaris. The only thing you have to do is make this hole a little deeper down here, and then you can use the Polaris burner in this windshield. And the height of the burner is the same as the pot stand, so the pot stands at the same distance from the burner, from the Polaris burner, as if you use the pot stand for the Polaris burner. So there will be no problem to use this one. I don't know if the burner, Polaris burner, need more air than what the Svea burner need, and maybe there is not enough air in this windshield. I have tried to make this ventilation hole bigger in that windshield. I don't know if it's necessary, and but I have done that, and yes, I don't know if it's make the windshield better or worse, but that's just to get more air in the windshield for the bigger burner, because it's a lot more power in that burner. My coffee is ready to drink. This is not instant coffee, it's regular coffee for brewing. Commonly you use some type of filter for this type of coffee, but I don't use any filter. I just put the coffee in the cup and put boiling water on it, and the coffee stays in the bottom of the cup, the mug cup, koksa. I guess you call this koksa. Well, this one is cold, and when the burner when it's cold, you can put the lid on again, otherwise the rubber gasket can melt. Then you should store the burner in some plastic bag or something before you put it in the stove, because you don't want the fuel inside the pot. You absolutely don't want the fuel in this. yes, that was all for now.